Again, Brian Jennings, the man who would have been the movie critic, the Millennial Dragon. And this video is intended specifically for the cabal, I want to say, but the group of individuals that I've been emailing in relation to my situation with Quentin Tarantino, though it is going on the channel, which is dedicated to processing my case study and clairvoyance of a relationship with Quentin Tarantino. And so who's included in this list? Ari Emanuel and Mike Simpson from WME, as well as David Mamet, as well as the Discovery Institute, Dr. David Berlinski, Dr. Stephen Meyer, as well as the band Fish, Trey Anastasio, right? As well as Paul Schrader, as well as Francesca Scorsese, right? As well as Elvis Mitchell. And maybe there's one or two more that I forget, but right? You all turn a blind eye to this palpable evil that he subjects me to every day. He lies to you, right? That's what he does. And I know what all this is for, right? I see it, right? That it's all a perverse strategy, right? To justify paying me, right? He can say, oh, he's not well. Oh, he's not well. I should have. Obviously, he couldn't have played the role. Right? But what I'm saying, right, is that he stole his tactics from me, right? And so what I'm saying, right, is that now, right, I've taken to reciting his children's names, right, or at least the one that I know. Anytime that he's torturing me, and he did the whole day I was at work today, right? And so what do I mean, right? Like, what does that, right? Like, what does that have to do with anything, right? I mean that he's using his mind as a weapon, right? He is focusing his intellectual light, right? He is focusing his intention and sending it as an attack onto my body. And so what I'm saying is that if any of that energy, right, is divested towards his children, right, then he also poisons his own children thereby. That's my point, right? And so just so that we're clear, right, that rather than leave me alone, right, rather than see what's good in his life, right, he would risk poisoning his own progeny, destroying his own children, right, rather than, right, leave me be. That's like, he thinks that that's like somehow appropriate, right? And so now we're all caught up, right? But this channel is about processing, right? It's about more, right, than just me reminding everyone that's in league with him, right, how ignorant he is, right, how evil he is, right, right. So, but just as a final reminder, right, like now moving forward, every time that I email you, right, and say, how can you turn a blind eye to such a palpable evil? How can you let him treat me this way, seeing that I don't care about money, right? I don't care what he does, right? Right? Take that extra second and reflect on how, right, in so doing, he perhaps puts his own children in danger, right? But we're reading from my novel, Building a Coven, and so I'll pick up where I left off. As they depart, Asa and John from the gorge approach. I don't recognize him until he says, "Hey, you remember me from the gorge?" Excitement as I hugged them both. "Asa, John, what the fuck? What's up, guys? You did Shoreline, right?" John replies, "Yeah, it was awesome. Got your General Forsyth." "Nice. I got one years ago. That's always nice to get a narration song." "No, Asa." "Yeah, but there wasn't really a story. It was just, oh, there it is, the famous bird." I nod. "Yeah, they've done that the last few times they've played it." "Where's Andrew?" "John, he's around." "No, Asa. A friend of his got wheeled out yesterday in a stretcher. Went into convolutions." "Oh, shit. Is he okay?" "We don't really know him, but I think so." "You think he went too hard?" "All but guaranteed." It's difficult when you're younger, as far as pacing. "Yeah," Asa says. "I've been trying to not eat too much dose this weekend." "Yeah, me too. Just seems like you have to keep taking more and more." "I know it. That last night at the Gorge, I had to heat like 5 hits to get a buzz. Mutual nods of recognition. Do you have anything? Yeah, I've been eating mushrooms and Molly all weekend. Some dose too, but not like in Washington. I pull out a small bag of MDMA. Full disclosure, I found this bag on the ground right here, but I've been doing it. It appears to be clean. You're welcome to have some. No fentanyl? Not enough to kill me, at least. He takes the bag, does a quick once-over to ensure his security, opens the bag, licks his pinky finger, dips it into the bag, and swallows the drug stuck to his finger. He breathes laborious as though he swallowed something bitter. Spoonful of sugar indeed. Thanks, dude. No problem. I had a really great time hanging out with you guys. Yeah, John says, we should do that every time we get together. Let's do it. Asa says, we'll boogie. You sure? Now, John. We'll see you again, I'm sure. We all hug. We'll see you inside. Have a great show, guys. These are the moments you treasure, where disparate demographics spread across socioeconomic conditions all commune together under the banner of live music and camaraderie, in fellowship, brotherhood, and love. A guy approaches wearing a train conductor outfit. Pickles leaps up and hugs him, turns around and with her arm on his shoulder says, Everyone, this is Landon. He's from Seattle as well. Good-looking, average-looking guy. Scruffy, darker shag hair. Not long, not short. Average build and height. Glasses. He looks to Max and hugs him. Nice to see you again. I extend my hand and he shakes it. Ethan, nice to meet you. Pickles points. This is my friend Patrick. He and this other guy, another point, John, are both from Boston as well. He shakes both hands in order. First Patrick, then John. Eye contact. Affirmative nods. Nice to meet you both. Were you at the Gorge too? Of course. Those shows were great. Best camel spit ever. By default. The dihedral pitch of refraction shows dusk approaches. The venue is open. You guys want to go inside? Get a good spot? Cheap swag. Swinging dick earrings. I'm going to stay out a little longer. I'm almost sold out, but I'll meet you guys inside. Okay, Pickle says. Let's roll. We head into the venue and adopt a good spot. Middle of the floor. Another conductor matching Landon passes by, and we take the obligatory picture and offer our mutual adoration of his impeccable fashion sense. My thoughts all weekend have been low, wondering where I belong. Everyone is wonderful I've met in these rare instances of community, but as always, they will drift away. I will lose touch, don't know how, but it always goes this way. Friends emerge, they distill to vapor once more. Amorphous. Quantum probability collapsing from waveform to particle back to waveform once more. I have never been capable of maintaining friends. A vagabond who charms all and inevitably pushes them away by my sincerity. I am a brazen clown, though weary of only being known as such. I love making people laugh and making them feel loved. I love respecting everyone unilaterally and loving them unconditionally. Sarcasm and sass often find homes in the hearts of the insecure, whose allegiances I know all too well. I know I am a performer, and I loathe to admit it, an intellectual, though hopefully rooted in my heart and not my brain, and that I have a great capacity for memorization, an endless zeal for literature, voracious. Perhaps I really don't belong anywhere. I am existing as a voyeur, to observe and report those experiences which bewilder all, and are describable only in terms of dream logic. Sometimes I resent my psychic prowess. Sometimes I yearn for ignorant bliss, as with my co-workers, as with all these great people dancing around me, unconcerned with obtuse notions of mind, pure rhapsody, which I embody here better than anywhere, to revel in the moment, the mystery of creation, supplication, a gesture of divinity by way of channeling, by way of introspection, by way of still contemplation. The piezoelectric quality of the skeleton, espoused by Pythagoras, though unknown in scientific jargon, as a necessity for wisdom, the divinity of rhythm. A sound wave washes over the body and transmutes upon impact with the skeleton into electric charge, inducing the compulsion to dance. Most all here are unaware of these analytic dissections of experience, and the joy stems from the song being considered intellectually, not the imposition upon the body as electric phenomenon. But this is what occurs, and is the seat of mystical trance states induced by dance. As the final encore concludes, the throng of people exodus as a herd of cattle through the various entrances and exits. The Brothers of Brass jam in the parking lot. The El Camino blasts shitty techno disco EDM with slutty coke whores dancing in the ball pit, in the bed likely poisoned with syphilis. Endless hissing of tanks, propositions for narcotics, an ocean of experience divulging some mystery unbeknownst to most. Clam is our great secret. Though they do seem to be having a moment. They have been having it for 40 years now, almost. They are the finest institution in live music, a perpetual excellence machine. Those who deride it mock out of subjective preference, which is fine and noble. There is nothing wrong with owning your individuality. However, if one is analyzing objectively live music as an experience, Clam and Clam alone have secured their position as the greatest of all time. Their body of work, which grows each year, is the finest testament to camaraderie, devotion to a dream, brotherhood of man, aggressive virtuosity, devoid of pretension, without sacrificing success in any way. They are a Goliath of commercialism, yet still totally approachable, famous, not celebrities. I know if I ever met any of them, I could have a conversation with them easily, though perhaps I am unique in that way. I have no doubt that people often get starstruck when they cross paths with any of the four. Back at the hotel, another girl emerges. I met her yesterday. Her name is Leanne. She lives in Netherlands in the house previously owned by the Green Sky fiddle player. It is a long-running joke they have perpetuated all weekend. She is a newlywed. I met her husband. I forget his name. Long black hair, curly, nice guy. Leanne is a chamber pianist, though she primarily gives lessons. She gets real cozy, inciting the scorn of everyone around me by being so obviously sexually attracted to me. She is pretty and very charming. Generous, I have no doubt. Not fine, not hot, wouldn't say that. But fine when seen through the eye of the soul. Not a Colorado native, but a mountain girl through and through. Glasses, straight brown hair, acceptable figure, nothing to write home about. But, as I said, all the more grateful, I have no doubt. Not a dog by no means. A fine wife to whomever that guy is that she's not hanging out with. When she fucks him, she's fucking him. And when she fucks me, she's fucking me. And when she fucks anyone else that catches her eye, she's fucking them. The months between my birthday shows and now saw me cash in my land and work in Eagle, Colorado, as a pizza cook at Pazzo's. Tom, the owner, is a nice guy. I worked hard. He appreciated me. I'd like to hope he appreciates me. Present tense. But now I'm leaving Colorado to go first to Clam in Vegas, then to the coast, Los Angeles. I have decided, despite my deep disdain for cities, I have to go into Babylon to make it work. Writing has become a compulsion, and I have to go into the city and seek my fortune. So I'll stop there. Again, right, it's about processing my relationship with Quentin Tarantino. The novel spans from May of 2021 to February of this year. Right? Train Anastasio, the band Fish are involved. I wrote them in an effort to help Quentin and myself reconcile. Right? Though, of course, right? There's no reconciliation. Right? He'll just torture me as much or as little as he wants forever until I'm gone. Right? And so this is why we're talking about it. Right? Because I live in palpable fear. Right? That he is going to destroy me. And I'm not going to go on and on, right? This will be a shorter one, right? But again, right, there's a latent intellect, right, diffused within all of space, right? And all instances of psychic phenomenon, telepathy, telekinesis, psychokinesis, thaumaturgy, are the mind of man, right? The conscious awareness of man, of the adept, tapping into the non-locality of consciousness, right? And so, right, instances of remote viewing, right, is a crystallization, a harmonization, right, of the atomic structure of the two disparate locations in the mind of the adept, right? That electrons are behaving, right? That the atomic structure of the material in both locations is behaving, right? And so in terms of remote viewing, you say, oh, I want to find someone, right? That if you have their picture, right? And again, I profane nothing. I have no master. If you have their picture, you can stare into their eyes, right? And then after a time, once you've gone into a trance, you go into meditation, right? Again, I live in perpetual fear he's going to murder me at all times, right? You go into a trance, right? Right? You meditate on that person, right? They are in a location on the earth, right? They have an atomic structure that constitutes their body, right? Which is almost identical to your atomic structure, right? So the rhapsody of the trance, right, harmonizes the behavior of the atomic structure of both personages, right? And you're allowed, right, that aperture, right, to see them, to see what they're doing, right? Right? And so the psychic siege, right, all operates on the same principle, right? That this is actually like nuts and bolts what is occurring, right? So I can do the same things, right? That this is not, right? The things that he does to me to kill me, right? He got from me, right? But if I do these things, right, he will fucking murder me, right? There's nothing else to consider there, right? So he's just torturing me. I'm not playing at all, right? Though I am building something, right? Because I have no choice. But I can't do the same things that he does to me. I can't do that. I know that he'll kill me. He'll kill my entire family, right? And so we're talking about it every day until it finds an amicable resolution. We're bound together, right, beyond space and time, right, as far as the two of us, right? That there is no, right, oh, we'll just not be connected anymore. No. It doesn't work that way, right? He can focus on what's good in his life, and I can too, right? And I do my damnedest to do that, right? But when I'm vulnerable, right, I know that he takes it upon himself to make my life miserable. Again, because he wants me to blow my brains out, right? So, right? See what's good in your life, right? Uplift your soul to God, right? Don't be devoted to base, right? Reductionist, right? Evil, right? Right? Like, comment, subscribe, share. God bless.